Hey everyone, my name is Lazer. I graduated from Patuxent in the class of 2021, and I currently attend the University of Miami as a psychology major. And I am in the class of 2025, but hopefully I will graduate a little bit earlier because of AP credits that I will be talking about in this video. Okay, so we're going to be talking about the AP that I took at Patuxent. So the classes that I took, and I took a lot of AP classes. You do not have to do this to be successful at college. Most people I've met here have not taken the amount of APs that we offered at Patuxent, so just know that this is not necessary at all. So I took world history, United States history, computer science principles, physics 1, English language, human geo, American government, Spanish, English literature, statistics, biology, psychology, and European history. And I could have taken Calc A, B, and BC, but I did not, and I was really worried about how that would affect my college decision, but that obviously had no impact because I ended up where I was meant to be. I'm really glad that I decided to take AP at Patuxent. We have a very good AP program, a lot of great teachers, a lot of opportunity to do really well and get college credit. Having that heavy workload really did help me in college, not necessarily because of the work itself, but because having to manage your time. And in college, having to manage your time is such a big component of being successful. Time management is very important in college. That's the biggest skill that you'll take away from taking AP classes in high school, because I had a lot of work to do, and I don't have the same amount of work in college necessarily, but you have a lot more studying that you should be keeping up with your classes. And if you don't take the time in between your classes in college to, do your work, be studying, things happen. The evenings, I know I always do stuff with my friends. Just learn that when you have free time, that's when you should work. And that's a skill I definitely developed from doing AP in high school. So another thing to think about is if the colleges that you are applying to will accept the AP classes that you're taking, the tests for them, because I know for me, not all of my credits transferred here at all. There were some classes that would only accept 5s, there were some classes that just didn't take AP credit at all, and things vary for your major a lot. So I would definitely say if you're interested in college and you're taking a lot of AP classes, pay attention to what they accept and in the instances that they'll accept them, because, I took a lot of tests that were not necessary for what I'm doing here. Something I recommend definitely is look into dual enrollment. I know at Patuxent there were only a handful of classes that were offered. I have credit for taking the dual enrollment pre-calc, and that did transfer over to here, and that was very helpful because there is a math requirement here. So that was great, and like I said, if you don't get a certain score on the test, you probably won't get the credit for it, but if you just pay the dual enrollment fee and finish the class successfully, then you get the credit for it. So check if your school takes dual enrollment. I feel like a lot of schools do, and then if they do, consider that over AP. I know you don't get the GPA bump for it, but it's still worth looking into, especially if you want to save money on being here for a short amount of time. So as far as how my college experience has been, I've had a very good time here. I think I picked the right school for me. So definitely figure out what is very important to you in a school specifically, because everyone is different. I know that I didn't want a super small school, and Miami is a decent size. I meet new people all the time. That's really important to me. As far as what my typical college schedule looks like, it is different every semester because you have total control of the hours that you're doing. I know in high school it'd be really exhausting because you were busy from 7:20 until 3 something every day, and even longer if you had extracurricular activities. And here you are in total control of what you want to do. Some classes have sections that are only offered at specific times, and that's one thing. But a lot of the time you can shape exactly when you want to be busy and when you want to have free time, when you're best to study or do stuff with your friends if you have other things that you want to be doing. My schedule last semester, I had 3 classes on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then I had 2 classes on Tuesday, Thursday. And on my Tuesday, Thursday classes, I was done at noon. So I had the rest of the day to study, to do anything else I wanted to do around campus. So college classes are a lot different than classes you have in high school. I know that I had assignments due pretty much every single day for all of my different classes. You always were turning something in. And that's not the case for a lot of classes that you take in college. You are lectured to for a while, or you have a lab, but you don't have something you have to turn in every class period. You might have readings that you're supposed to have read before, so you're prepared for the lecture content, but generally speaking, a lot fewer things that you have to turn in, but that's also very stressful at times because you only have a handful of things, maybe 4 exams for the entire semester that comprise your grade. You can have a lot of time to yourself, and it's really up to you how much you want to study to get the grade that you want in that class. As far as extracurriculars in college go, I did a lot of swimming in high school. I was on the swim team, very involved with that. I did club swim. And it wasn't something that I knew if I wanted to continue when I went to college, just because I kind of wanted to try new things. But I did miss it after a while, so I ended up going. And it did become like a big part of my life here. I met a lot of cool people through it. I highly recommend clubs in college. However much time you're willing to allot to it is perfectly acceptable a lot of the time. So I know it's swim. I do not go every single day of the week. Things get busy. You have studying you want to do. You have things that you want to go to. So I really like the low stress of it. I feel like in high school, if you miss stuff, like you had to tell somebody you were missing and why, and it's just not the same here. Like you're an adult, you have control over how much time you want to allot to all the activities that you're doing. And I definitely think that clubs are some of the best places to make friends. I know a lot of my classes are lecture-based, so you're not really interacting with anybody next to you, maybe like in the group me to share notes and things like that, but you're not really interacting as much unless you are in a project-based type of situation. So highly recommend extracurriculars, super fun, super chill. In addition to starting your applications and your essays early, I also urge you, please ask for your recommendation letters from your teachers early. That is huge. A lot of colleges require those, and you really don't want to have to put your teacher on the spot at the very end to have to write you a good recommendation letter. So go to teachers that you know have a really high opinion of you, and make sure you go to them early because other people are also going to be asking for letters. So now I'm going to be going around campus asking my friends some college-related questions because I think it will be good to give you guys some other perspectives going into this process. Okay, Roy, what are your recommendations to people that are applying to college?
I think that it's very important for you to know what are your priorities in colleges, and from there on conduct your search. I think if you do a very great search for colleges and then you have a list that you're happy with, the process is easier from there on. So I think that would be one of the best advices I could give. You can cut that.
Catherine, what are your recommendations to freshmen in college?
Just be yourself, and like you'll find your people. Like don't worry about like finding giant groups of friends. It's a lot better to have like a few close friends that you can trust than just like a giant group of strangers.
Agreed. Caitlin, what should high school students know before they go to college?
I think the most important thing for high school students to know as they're coming to college is that your schedule is going to look a lot different than your schedule in high school. So instead of having all of your classes at like 7 in the morning to like 1 or 2 in the afternoon, your classes are going to be all throughout the day. So you're going to end up with these really strange free blocks of time, like just 2 or 3 hours before a class. So it's really important to learn how to make those times productive or use those times as a mental break, so that you are organizing your whole schedule in a way that's going to work really well for you.
Absolutely. Natalie! Oh my god! I have a question for you!
Hi, vlog!
What's your recommendation for people applying to college?
Go with your gut. Because I feel like when I was applying to college, I got distracted by a lot of things. Like, I always felt in my heart that like Miami was where I wanted to be. I feel like you kind of have an intuition. So just trust your gut and work really hard. I was very overwhelmed. Like, I didn't know. I applied to a lot of schools, but like in my heart, I always felt like Miami was where I wanted to go. And that's where I am. I'm very happy. So, yeah.
Casey,
Yes.
what is your advice to current high school students that are going to be applying to college soon?
Apply as early as possible.
Is that all?
Yes.
Thank you, Casey.
Let's go. Ask me.
Hey, Emma. Do you have any advice to high schoolers that are about to go into college?
Yes, I do. Make sure to keep an open mind about your college decision. It's gonna mean the world wherever you end up. Don't think about where your friends go. You're gonna make friends wherever you end up. So, yeah.
Thank you, Emma. So, what is your opinion on taking AP in high school? How has it affected your life in college?
AP classes are great to have under your belt. By having AP classes, you can earn college credits as long as you do well in the exams. So make sure to study hard for those exams and get those credits.
Hala, what is your opinion on AP classes?
Well, I took many AP classes, and especially my bio class was incredibly similar to the classes that I take now in college in terms of the level of commitment and dedication I had to have in them. So I recommend them in that sense, but I did fail every single one of my AP tests, and I have no credit, no college credit, but I'm doing really well in college, so it actually didn't matter in the end. So don't stress too much, yeah, and make sure to learn what's going on.
Yeah. Thank you, Hala.
You're welcome.
I don't think they're in there.
That was so, the suspense.
So we are at club swim practice at the University of Miami. This is Trevor. Do you have any advice to people that are going to be going to college soon?
So my advice would be to apply to at least 10 schools. I would say definitely make sure to not lose sight of the end goal. Try to stay focused on what you want, because it's really easy to, when you're doing the application process, to focus so much on doing the applications that you can lose sight of, okay, what do I want at the end of this process? So try to stay focused on that, especially when you need more motivation. And just know that you will end up where you're meant to be. So try to stay positive during the whole process.
Thank you, Trevor.
Good luck on your college journey.
Woo!
Go Canes!
Okay.